Hello, everybody. My name is Junilyn Brady, and together with my report partner, Mr. Abner Masong, we will be discussing to you Module 3 Curriculum Development and Implementation to be presented to our professor, Dr. Noel B. Hernandez, and of course to you, our classmates. And the researcher of this report is, of course, my partner, Mr. Abner Masang, and the presenter, and of course, the PowerPoint creator is um, yours truly. So let's begin. For our topic one, curriculum design and development process in the Philippines. So the curriculum design and development process in the Philippines follows a structured approach guided by the DepEd for basic education and of course CHED for higher education and TESDA for technical vocational education. This process aims to ensure that educational programs meet national goals and global standards. And here's an overview of the key steps in the curriculum design and development process in the Philippines. So, number one, needs assessment and situational analysis. So, its purpose is to identify the educational needs of students and the demands of society, the economy, and the workforce. Its methods includes conducting surveys, focus group discussions, consultation with stakeholders, teachers, parents, industry experts, and reviewing existing educational policies. Output identification of learning gaps and future competencies required for students to thrive in a dynamic global environment. Number two, setting goals and objectives. Its purpose is to establish clear, measurable education educational objectives that aligned with national development goals such as those outlined in the Philippine Development Plan or international commitments like the Sustainable Development Goals. For basic education, objectives must align with the K to 12 program, which covers kindergarten through grade 12. For higher education, its objectives are aligned with the development of a professional workforce, research, and innovation. Its output should the development of educational goals that focus on holistic student development, including cognitive, social, emotional, and psychomotor skills. Number three, we have here designing the curriculum framework. So its purpose is to develop the overall structure of the curriculum, including the subjects, competencies, and learning standards. So the components are learning areas or subjects, content standards, performance standards, competency standards, framework. So it's framework. In the case of K to 12, the curriculum is designed around key stages of learning from early childhood to senior high school. In higher education, the curriculum typically follows a discipline-based approach. So its output, a detailed curriculum map or framework showing the progression progression of learning across grades or levels. Number four, curriculum writing and development of learning material. So its purpose is to create detailed learning modules, textbooks, teachers' guides, and other educational resources based on the curriculum framework. The involvement, curriculum specialists, subject matter experts, and experienced teachers collaborate to create content. So, for the considerations, learning materials are designed to be cultural, relevant, inclusive, and accessible. They should cater to diverse learning styles and be aligned with 21st century skills such as critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. Its output should be the textbooks, of course, teaching guides, online learning modules, and multimedia resources. And number five, piloting and implementation. Its purpose is to test the curriculum in selected schools or educational institutions to evaluate its effectiveness and appropriateness. So its methods, the school are selected to pilot the curriculum, and feedback is collected from teachers, students, and administrators. Adjustments. Based on the feedback, necessary adjustments are made to content, teaching strategies, assessment tools, and materials. Its output, refined curriculum that is ready for wider implementation. Number six, training of educators. So it's why in depth ed I haven't haven't taught in depth ed, but then as I can see there are like trainings, different trainings for educators or for teachers, and as of this week I can see some of my Facebook friends doing their NSET. So I think that's part of the training. So its purpose is to equip teachers and educators with the knowledge and skills to effectively implement the curriculum. The content teacher training focuses on pedagogical strategies, the use of new learning materials, classroom management, and assessment techniques. The modes training can be delivered through workshops, seminars, online training programs, and professional learning communities. So, as what I mentioned earlier, output teachers who are competent in delivering the new curriculum. Number seven, curriculum implementation. So, since as the six steps from the beginning has been done already, so here comes the curriculum implementation. Its purpose is to roll out the curriculum across all schools or institutions. The modes, the curriculum is integrated into the daily teaching and learning process in schools nationwide. So for monitoring, so ongoing monitoring is conducted to assess how well the curriculum is being implemented in different contexts. Could be urban, rural, private, or public. For the output, full-scale implementation of the curriculum in educational institutions. Number eight, evaluation and revision. So since there is already a curriculum implementation and surveys for the stakeholders, teachers or educators, parents, students. This or the curriculum must be also open for evaluation and revision. So its purpose is to assess the effectiveness of the curriculum in achieving its objectives and meeting the needs of the learners. Of course, if there are um, syllabus or there are objectives that are not met during the implementation, there should be a revision or they should make some changes to make the uh, objective more effective, to make the objective more effective and achievable for uh, all students or most of the students. So its methods is the continuous evaluation through various tools such as students assessments, standardized tests, teacher feedback, and external evaluations. Updates, curriculum updates are made based on evaluation data to improve content, teaching strategies, or delivery methods. So its output. revised curriculum that adapts to new educational challenges and global trends. So let's proceed to topic number two, which is curriculum evaluation and improvement. So here is an overview of how curriculum evaluation and improvement are conducted in the Philippines. Number one, curriculum evaluation. Curriculum evaluation is a systematic process that involves assessing various aspects of the curriculum to determine its effectiveness in meeting the educational goals of the country. The key aspects of curriculum evaluation: achieving of learning outcomes. Evaluation focuses on whether students are achieving the desired competencies and skills outlined in the curriculum. This is done through student assessments, including national tests like the National Achievement Test and school level assessment, teacher feedback on student performance and the appropriateness of learning materials and instructional strategies, external evaluation, such as the Program for International Student Assessment, to assess the performance of Filipino students relative to international benchmarks. So the relevance and alignment with national goals, curriculum coherence and depth, teacher and stakeholder feedback, tools and method for evaluation, surveys and feedback mechanisms, student performance data, curriculum audits, field studies, and pilot testing. So these are all under curriculum evaluation. Next, we have curriculum improvement process. Once the evaluation has identified areas for improvement, the step or the next step is curriculum revision or or reform. This process ensures that the curriculum evolves to meet new educational challenges, shifts in the job market, advancements in technology, and changes in the country's socio-political context. So, steps in curriculum improvement, we have identification of gaps and issues, stakeholder consultations, redesign, pilot testing and phased implementation, teacher training and capacity building, implementation and monitoring, continuous review cycle. In number three, we have the example of recent curriculum reforms in the Philippines. We have the K to 12 curriculum reform, enhanced basic education, that's Act of 2013, and the latest one is the Matatag curriculum, the 2024 onwards. Number four, we have challenges in curriculum evaluation and improvement. Of course, the very first one is the very, let's say, limited resources, especially during the implementation of the K to 12. There are like not enough classrooms, not enough chairs, not enough teachers, but then um, still the education uh, must continue. So you also have, as I mentioned earlier, teacher capacity, not enough teachers, learning gaps, of course, because teacher, of course, need to be trained though. We are professionals, but we still need to be trained in order for us to provide quality education to our students and the bureaucratic delays at the same time. So, in conclusion, curriculum evaluation and improvement in the Philippines are continuous processes aimed at enhancing the quality of education and aligning it with national development goals. Through systematic evaluation, stakeholder involvement, and iterative reforms, the Philippine education system strives to respond to the changing needs of society and the economy. However, challenges such as resource constraints, teacher training, and implementation delays require ongoing attention to ensure that the curriculum delivers meaningful and effective education for all Filipino learners. Now let's go ahead and proceed to our topic number three, which is instructional design, strategies, methods, and delivery. So these are very crucial or are crucial components in creating effective learning experiences. In the context of education, instructional design focuses on how learning is are structured. The strategies and methods refer to how teaching is conducted, and delivery refers to how content is transmitted to learners. So, here's an overview of these key concepts. So, number one, instructional design. So, this is a systematic process of creating educational experiences that make the acquisition of knowledge and skills more efficient, effective, and engaging. So, we have here the ADDIE model, which stands for five phases. A stands for analysis, D stands for design, another D stands for development, I implementation, E evaluation. This is supposed to be number two, very backward design. In this model, instructional design begins by identifying desired learning outcomes and working backward to develop assessment and instructional strategies that will achieve those outcomes. So we have here three stages. First is identify desired result, learning goals. Stage two, determine acceptable evidence by assessments. Stage three, plan learning experiences and instruction. Supposed to be number three, Bloom's taxonomy. So instructional design often considers Bloom's taxonomy, a hierarchy of learning objectives that range from lower order thinking skills. So we have your remembering and understanding to higher order thinking skills, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Um, ins- it helps instructors design activities and assessments that target various levels of cognitive complexity. So we have here, let's go to number two, um, instructional strategies. This is after instructional design. So instructional strategies. So these are the approaches or techniques used to help students learn more effectively. So we have here the common instructional strategies, direct instruction, constructivist approaches, collaborative learning, differentiated instruction, flipped classroom, experiential learning, and the gamification. So I think we covered these things during our masters. So I'm not going to elaborate each one of these since we're running out of time. So I'll just go ahead and continue with number three, the instructional methods. Instructional methods refer to the specific ways that strategies are implemented during instruction. These methods guide the interactions between the teacher, the learner, and the learning materials. So, common instructional methods we have lecture, discussion, demonstration, case study, role play, problem based learning, inquiry based learning. Number four, instructional delivery. So delivery refers to how content is presented and taught to students. It can vary based on the mode of learning, example, face-to-face, online, or hybrid, and the technological tools used. So uh, here are some examples: face-to-face instruction, online learning, blended learning or hybrid. Also have mobile learning and flipped classroom. So in conclusion, effective instructional design strategies, methods, and delivery are critical to achieving successful learning outcomes. Educators must carefully plan and select appropriate strategies and methods based on learning goals, student needs, and the available resources, combining various instructional methods and delivery modes, such as using technology and student centered approaches, helps create engaging and inclusive learning environments. Now, let's proceed to topic number 4, which is textbook selection and adaptation in the Philippines. So this is very crucial aspect of the education process, ensuring that learners have access to quality learning materials aligned with the national curriculum. The process involves evaluating, approving, and adapting textbooks to meet the needs of the diverse Filipino students population. So here's an overview of the textbook selection and adaptation process in the Philippines. So we have the textbook selection process. So the steps are: it should be, or number one, curriculum alignment. Number two, call for submission. Number three, evaluation by learning resource evaluation and quality assurance division. Number four, approval process. Number five, procurement and distribution. For textbook adaptation process, it involves modifying existing materials to better suit the needs of specific learners and schools or regions. So reasons for textbook adaptation, we have their cultural relevance, language adaptation, context, contextualization for local needs. So it's why during my time, there are subjects that we have that right now they don't have, and there are also subjects right now that we don't have during our time. Like, for example, the mother tongue, which lots of students are having difficulties with, especially those a new generation who are actually used to English and not used to the mother tongue, and it's even more difficult than uh, it's more difficult than Tagalog or English. And I've noticed also lots of students are having like very low grades when it comes to mother tongue. So it's I think this a very important important subjects for the students to at least remember and not forget uh, the native language. Number four will also have is special education needs. Number five, digital and multimedia adaptation. Challenges in textbook selection and adaptation. While the process of selecting and adapting textbooks in the Philippines is well structured, several challenges can arise. And here are some examples: access to quality learning materials, resource constraints, consistency in textbook quality, linguistic and cultural adaptation, and teacher training adaptation. Here are also the recent developments in textbook selection and adaptation, DepEd Commons and digital resources, Matatag curriculum, open educational resources, and in conclusion, textbook Selection and adaptation in the Philippines is a structured but complex process that ensures educational materials are aligned with the national curriculum and meet the diverse needs for Filipino learners through a combination of rigorous evaluation, cultural and linguistic adaptation, and efforts to digitize learning resources. DepEd aims to provide quality learning materials to all students. However, challenges such as resource constraints, distribution issues, and the need for teacher training require ongoing attention and ensure that textbooks continue to support effective learning across the country. So we have here topic number 5, examination, assessment, and evaluation like pre, midterm, and final. So the purpose of the examination, assessment, and evaluation is to measuring learning outcomes, tracking progress, providing feedback, guiding instruction, and credentialing. So we have here number two, types of assessment: formative assessment and summative assessment. Number three, stages of examination assessment: prelim, midterm, and final. Prelim, we also known as pre-midterm examination, midterm examination, final examination. Number four, assessment tools and methods. Exams are the most common tools for assessment, but they can take various forms depending on the subject and the skills being assessed. So um, it could be in different forms, as I mentioned earlier. And here are the common examination formats. Number one, objective tests. We also have essay or short answer questions, problem solving questions, practical exams, and oral exams. Number five, evaluating and grading. Grading is a process of evaluating students' performance based on their exam results and other assessments. In the Philippine educational system, grades are often based on a combination of prelim, midterm, and final exams, as well as class participation, assignments, and projects. So here are grading systems in the Philippines: percentage based grading, point based grading, rubric based grading. And of course, there are also challenges, which which are the test anxiety, fairness and objectivity, access to resources, cheating, and integrity issues. So best practices: we have balanced assessment, clear rubric and feedback. We also have diverse assessment methods. So the last second to the last topic, we have topic number 6, which is differentiated instruction. Differentiate, differentiated instruction is an approach to teaching that is responsive to the diverse learning needs of students. Key principle of differentiated instruction: respect for individual differences, student centered learning, ongoing assessment, and flexible grouping. Elements of differentiated instruction: we have here content, process, product, and learning environment. So for differentiated content, adjusting the material students are expected to learn so that it is accessible and engaging to all. Differentiated process: adjusting how students interact with the material to match their learning preferences and readiness levels. differentiated product, offering students a choice in how they demonstrate what they've learned, differentiating the learning environment, adjusting the physical setup and emotional climate of the classroom to support a variety of learners. And here's practical examples of differentiated instruction. We have tiered assignments, learning stations, choice boards, and flexible groupings. The benefits of differentiated instruction, the engagement, when instruction is tailored to students' interests and abilities, they are more likely to be engaged and motivated. Equity, differentiation ensures that all students, regardless of their starting point, have access to meaningful learning opportunities. The growth, by providing appropriate challenges and supports, differentiated instruction helps all students make progress at their own pace. Ownership, offering choices and adapting to students' learning preferences, fosters greater independence and self regulation in learners. The challenges of differentiated instruction, we have the planning time, the classroom management, and teacher training. In conclusion, differentiated instruction is highly effective teaching approach that acknowledges and accommodates students' diverse learning needs by modifying contents, process, product, and learning environment. Teachers create a more in- inclusive classroom where all students can succeed, while differentiation requires careful planning and adaptability. The benefits to students, engagement, and achievement make it a valuable strategy in today's diverse classrooms. So, our last topic is the technology integration in the Philippines. Technology integration in the Philippines, or education in the Philippines, has been growing focus, especially with the increasing recognition of the role of digital tools in enhancing teaching and learning. So here's an overview of how technology is being integrated in the Philippine education. So we have number one, government initiatives. So DepEd's ICT4E, the Philippine government has taken steps to integrate information and communication technology into education through various initiatives. So that focuses on improving the access and quality of education using technology. So it aims to provide schools with digital infrastructure, devices, and online learning platforms. And they also have the Education Bayan. This initiative aims to bring technology and education tools to rural and underserved or underserved areas, helping bridge the digital divide. We also have the K to 12 curriculum, includes ICT as part of the curriculum. Number two is the online learning platform and virtual classrooms. That also includes DepEd Commons, an online learning platform launched by DepEd. They also have the Learning Management System or the LMS and the education.ph. Number three, blended and distance learning. So it happens during COVID, and back then also printed modules and ra- radio or TV based learning. Number four, we also have here the technological tools in the classroom. So smart classroom and digital boards. I'm not sure if DepEd im- implemented uh, this or installed this smart classroom and digital boards in all classroom. Not sure about that, but we also have here the mobile learning. Number five, teacher training and professional development. So technology integration training for faculties, teachers, Also have the test the programs. Number six, challenges in technology integration. So access to internet and devices, because in the Philippines, internet is not that fast, and of course, in order to access uh, these things, you need a device. You need a phone or tablet or a laptop. And of course, teachers must be ready. Infrastructure, they also have like infrastructure issues wherein if there's a lot of people going through a specific website, it can sometimes collapse. Also have here cultural and economic factors. And number seven, innovative solutions and programs. So for telecommunication partnership, companies like Globe Telecom and Smart Communication have partnered with the government to provide affordable internet access to students in underserved areas. Community-based learning, also have local governments and nonprofit organizations are stepping into provide solutions like community learning hubs where students can access free Wi-Fi and device. Private sectors also initiatives. Companies such as PLDT and the Ayala Foundation support technology-driven educational programs, helping schools improve their digital infrastructure and providing students with learning devices. Wow. And number eight, the future of technology in education. So the Philippines is focusing on advancing the use of AI and virtual reality and augmented reality in education. These technologies can provide immersive learning experiences, especially in fields such as science, engineering, and medicine. So for the DepEd is also planning to roll out a national broadband program to improve internet access nationwide, a crucial step in addressing the digital divide. As part of its long term vision, the Philippines aim to make digital literacy a core competency for students and educators, preparing future generations for the global economy. So, for the conclusion of topic number five, technology integration in the Philippines, is a work in progress also, with significant strides made in recent years despite the challenges related to infrastructure and equity. Both the government and private sector are working to bridge the digital divide. As technology continues to evolve, it holds the potential to revolutionize education in the Philippines, making it more accessible, engaging, and relevant to students. So that's all for our report. Thank you so much for your attention.